Ladies and gents, Wembley beckons for Forest. We are 90 minutes from it. Welcome to your preview for Brighton versus Forest. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to the preview for the FA Cup quarter-finals. A place in the semi-finals at stake if Forest can go and just replicate what they did last time and put 7 past Brighton. It wouldn't even need that much. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you are new, and check out this crazy giveaway from Football Prizes. How would you like to be at the City Ground, the world famous City Ground, on the final day of the season, in exact, looked after, all poshed up and everything? Forest versus Chelsea. You can be there as we celebrate, in Tom's view, probably winning the league. Who knows? And there are not thousands, but loads and loads of prizes. You can get a signed Murillo shirt, a signed Milenkovic and Murillo shirt, a Yates shirt, a Nuno shirt, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Go check out the amount of prizes. And how much is this going to cost you? 39 pence. Yes, you heard me right. 39 pence from Football Prizes. All you need to do is scan this QR code or click on the link that's pinned in the comments and get your asses in to win those prizes. All right, let's talk about this game. So, last time we met, we all know 7-0, but we all know we only won 7-0 because I was there and I'm that good luck charm. This time is going to be different. Brighton have been undefeated since they got absolutely slapped around by us at the City Ground. So, they're going to want revenge. But I think this whole revenge narrative is being overplayed. If you asked a Brighton fan, if you could find one, shout out to Adam, do they want to win this because that we gave them 7? Or do they want to win it because their club has never, ever won a trophy in their life? And this may be their best chance to do it. I think they'll all say the second. So I think this narrative of 7-0, it is kind of being overplayed. All right, maybe their manager is going to use it to motivate them and say, look, you can't embarrass me like I embarrassed myself last time by playing one midfielder and all of that. But I think it's up to Forest. Remember, we are the highest ranked team in this tournament. Still, 3rd in the league. It makes us the best team in there, surely. But I don't think this one's going to be easy. But I have been feeling for a little while now that, yes, I know Brighton have beat us the odd time here and there. We lost to them once last season. Was it once? No, it was twice, wasn't it? But I just feel that when we face Brighton, we're turning slowly into a bogey team for them. I don't know. I just feel like we need to be someone's bogey team. We do. Who are we a bogey team of in the current Premier League? Get your comments in on that down below. It was starting to feel like Chelsea, but we lost to them on the last game of last season, or the last home game of last season, should I say. So, I don't know, maybe it'll be Brighton. Anyway, I'm blabbing on about pointless stuff as always. Let's give you the team news. So we know that Cristiano Ronaldo is out for this game. And again, and I'll say it, Lemmy, we should have gone for strength in the January window. I think that was a mistake. And this mistake could cost us a place in the semi-finals. So the expectation will be that Taiwo steps up, and step up he must. Look, Taiwo has been somewhat decent, coming on for 2 or 3 minutes in the last couple of games. But I still need to see Taiwo find some of that old school form, that form that kept us up in the first season back, that form that gave him, 7 goals in a row in the league or whatever it was. We need to see some of that back from Taiwo. And this is the time. He hasn't, for me, had a major impact on any game. You could say a little bit when we played Exeter, but even then, I want to see Taiwo be man of the match in this game if, of course, he does start. The other thing to tell you guys about is that Sosa was still not back as of today, as in yesterday. So it's unlikely he'll be on the squad. He was away on international duty. The rest of them have returned, but in what state have they returned? Some of them didn't get minutes, like Morgan Gibbs-White. We all know the story there. Some of them did, like Murillo, but were traveling back from Brazil. So a long trip, and will Nuno consider that in his selection? And let's not forget, we have to beat Manchester United on Tuesday. Otherwise, my phone will not stop ringing. So Nuno needs to take that into account as well. Outside of the Taiwo injury, apart from Miguel, it's a fully fit squad that Nuno can pick from. And it's up to him, and he does need to manage this week. This week is a huge week for Forest. 3 games in this week. Brighton, Manchester United, Aston Villa away. If we can get through against Brighton, if we can beat Manchester United subject to their brown envelopes, and if we can get something out of Villa, it's done. We're going to be hearing that Champions League theme music, and we're going to Wembley as well. So let's have a look at the team, and let me talk you through what I think Nuno is going to do. All right, so we went through this on the Forest Forum yesterday. Make sure to check that out if you haven't already. Shout out to Tom as well, the world famous Tom, who joined us on that. Also as well, if you want to see my other predictions for the quarterfinals, we've got that on the second channel over on the Footy Network. I'll leave it for you on the end screen as well. But let's focus on business now. Now, obviously, the clear indication is that Wood isn't going to play unless he gets Cooper's old magic sponge. I don't see that. Nuno said they're waiting back on the scan. So just by simple kind of logic, you would put Taiwo in there. Now, I think there's going to be some other changes in this team. Unlike the boys yesterday, they may be right and may be wrong. Who knows? I don't think Dominguez starts. I think Yates is going to be the one that starts this game, and it will be alongside Anderson. I just think it kind of makes sense. Yates, as Rob pointed out, has started pretty much every FA Cup match. I think Sangare may have played ahead of Anderson in this one, but he was away on international duty. You could actually still see him because I think Anderson was playing at under 21 level as well. Now, where I think there's going to be a change is I think Einar is coming off. I don't think he starts this game. Again, he was away on international duty with Nigeria, got himself an assist for Osimhen. Maybe there's a future link there, who knows? So I don't think he will start. What I think will happen is Nico Williams will come in at right back, and then Alex Moreno comes in at left back. The other change that you might see is this whole Murillo thing. Now, everyone tells me, I haven't watched it, that Murillo had an absolute stinker on his debut for Brazil and was hooked at half-time. Whether or not that's true, whether or not I'm being trolled, if you watched it, let me know honestly in the comments down below. But because of that, let me assume that all those opposition YouTubers are telling me the truth. Maybe, just maybe, Nuno says, you know what, Murillo? Best way to shake that off is to get straight back on the horse kind of thing and play. If that doesn't happen, I just think Morato will come in alongside Milenkovic. Now, Milenkovic was suspended for one of his international games, so didn't play as many minutes as maybe some others did. And I think that will be the back four. In terms of Morgan Gibbs-White, he should definitely be a starter for this match. He didn't play any actual minutes while away with England. Hudson-Odoi, same with him. And then Elanga got, I think he came on as a sub for 20 minutes, got an assist as well for Sweden. So well done to him. And I think that's going to be the team. My only areas of contention are, will Murillo start just to shake off those Brazilian cobwebs? And will it be Anderson or Sangare in that position, both having gone away on international duty? Now, is that enough to win this game? Yes. I think in an ideal world, if the fixtures were kinder to us, because I really don't like the fact that we're playing on Tuesday. Brighton are playing on Wednesday when it comes to their Premier League games. I don't know why they haven't given us an extra day's recovery, but, you know, everyone's against Forest. So I think this team is enough to do it, but ideally Nuno would have liked to put the strongest 11 out. Now, when we spoke to Frank Clark, he said, you know, it doesn't matter about the next game but one, it matters about the current game. You just put your strongest team if they're available, and then you worry about what's going to happen, you know, for the Tuesday game on the Sunday and the Monday, etc. And I get that philosophy. I don't know. Either he goes exactly what we saw against Ipswich, where we tonked him 4-2, or he does these changes. I think this team is strong enough to beat Brighton. I don't think Brighton like playing against our style. And what you can say about Nuno is that and this is a real plus point for me on Nuno, is that any player who comes in or out, it doesn't change the complexion of the philosophy or the formation or the style. You know, if you put Nico Williams at right back, you'll get just a good performance out of him as you would with Aina. Yes, there's slightly different attributes, etc. But you bring Morato in, he's going to be just as solid defensively, well, obviously within his ability in comparison to Murillo. And you get my point. The structure doesn't change, you know, just because a certain player has come in. Where I do think there is a change is in how Taiwo plays compared to Wood. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, Wood's form for me over the last couple of weeks, since probably the Brighton game actually, hasn't been top notch. So if there was a good time for him to pick up a slight knock, you know, looking at it as a positive, now's not a bad time. It also means he actually gets a rest because he's been game in, game out, week in, week out. And Taiwo offers a slightly different element, I think, with the physicality. And I think Brighton could maybe struggle against it if he is on form. Now, if he didn't want to go with Taiwo up front, he may go with Elanga in a false nine, or he could put Jota there. That could be another option. But personally, I think we'll see Taiwo. I think Nuno will have a word with him and say, Taiwo, this is your time to shine. I'm going with that team. Do you agree with it or not? Let me know what you think in the comments. So how do I see this game going? I don't think we've been sensational in the cup matches so far this season. If I'm being honest with you, probably Luton was our most comfortable performance. However, what I will say, in a cup settings, you don't want to peak too early. You kind of want to grind your way through the rounds. And then when you get to these knockout stages, if you like, as in, I know they're all knockouts, but I'm talking about like quarterfinals, semis, finals. That's when you want to start to build the momentum, build the performance and everything like that. Think about it a bit like a World Cup. Germany's always the best example. They kind of muck their way through the group phases, then they start to get into the knockout phases, and then slowly but surely they click into second and third, then fourth gear. That's what I'm hoping for here for Forest. That this now is the business end of this cup competition. You've played the lower ranking teams, you've beaten them, you've got through, be it on penalties, whatever it is, you got your job done. Now it's time to kick on. And now it's time to kick on with a team. And I go back to this 7-0. I know at the start of it, I talked about the psyche of it in respect to Brighton. But let's talk about it for a second from the perspective of Forest. You're sending out this team of players who know they can score at will against this Brighton team, that they've got the measure of them from the last game. So that should give them, you know, an extra step, an extra bit of confidence when it comes to playing Brighton. So hopefully the players can take that on. Now, don't take it too far is what I'd say to them. You know, don't have entitlement about it, but use that to give yourselves the confidence. I think Forest will go through. Well, that's more, I hope Forest will go through. But I think it will go to penalties. I think it will be 1-1. I think we take the lead. They get some goal in, I don't know, the 72nd minute. They have a bit of momentum. Then we have to play solidly defensively through extra time. And then our penalty takers hopefully get us over the line. However, one of our penalty takers will be missing in Wadinho, which means Taiwo may have to take one. And the last time he took one, the ball still hasn't landed. And that was against Newcastle back in September, October time. So I'm going for a Forest win on penalties. I'm confident / not confident. I don't know. I'll see how I feel come the day of the game. Obviously, we'll have the watch along for you. But get your predictions in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you are new here. Go watch the forum if you haven't seen it already. And my predictions on the rest of the quarterfinal matches. They'll be on the screen here for you now. We'll see you for the watch along tomorrow. Come on, you Reds. Let's get to Wembley.